Hey everybody, it's Brent in Central Arkansas. It's time for a grow room update. Since I last posted an update on this, I went on a cruise and I came back after 8 days and this thing self-sustained, which I was really happy about. And now they've gone from this to about this. I probably can't even see it in the screen. Super excited about where we are with the tomatoes. It's mostly tomatoes, but I'm also growing some eggplant, pepper, and squash. And this is all my breeding work. Almost all of it's my breeding work. It is all my breeding work, actually, just thinking about it. So this particular video is strictly about an update on kind of a look, if you're following along, of what things look like now. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to do one on lighting. I use LED lighting exclusively. But I'm migrating to white light, and I want to show you that. And in fact, I've been thinking about it for months, and about 2 months ago I was contacted by Spider Farmer. They wanted to give me a light if I did a review. So I did an unboxing. You know, you've probably seen those types of reviews before, and measurements, and you know what I think about it and all that. And I've always thought, how can you tell if you like the thing or not unless you use it for a long period of time? And that's the way I tend to do things. I do trials, first-hand experience. But I told them no thank you, and they said, well, what if you mentioned it in your videos? And I kind of went over, you know, I get these all the time, and I was like, I don't want my channel to be a review channel. I want it to be just a what I do channel. And I said, the only thing I can tell you is I'll tell people what light it is, I'll show it to them, and then I'll mention it from time to time. But I did want to change out my purple light, which is a blue-red spectrum lighting, for the newer white lights. So Spider Farmer agreed to the way I want to do it, and I said, actually before we closed the agreement, I said, I tell you what, I'll definitely do it if I can give one of them away and use one to grow. And son of a gun if they didn't buy that. So that's great news for you guys. So in the future, in the near future, probably in a month or so, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of one of the lights that I'll feature on the next video, which is going to cover my lighting in here. If you look outside, you can see that the lighting is absolutely awful. There's no sun, and you get a lot of days like this during the winter time. So it's not possible to grow spring and summer type vegetables in a grow room unless you have some type of supplemental lighting. And that's the purpose of having these LEDs. And I'm switching to, there goes my my air on my water culture. But I'm switching from the purple to the white lights, and I'm seeing some great growth so far. And I wanted to show you that. I want to show you what I'm using, and that's going to be the next video. And then probably I'll mention the giveaway, or maybe I'll do the giveaway in the next video. I'm not sure. There's they did tell me that they can if they send me the light, then I have to pay for shipping to wherever, and then I'm limited to only within the United States. And they have Spider Farmer has an Amazon where they can ship to 4 different countries: Germany, England or UK, Canada, and the United States. And so I can reach all 4 of those countries in the giveaway. The only problem with that is I'll have to submit your name, the winner's name, to them, and then they'll contact you and work it. But I'll discuss all that later. I did look at the cursory reviews of the SF1000 by Spider Farmer, and it's a really good light. So it's the one, I mean, and they're going to send me one, so why not use it, right? Since I'm migrating that way anyway. So that's coming in the next video. Now, after the introduction here, which is a little bit lengthy, I'm going to carry you through and show you what I've done here. As you can see probably behind me, I've strung up the tomatoes, still quite dense, so I have to do some reduction in selections of my breeding work here, which will reduce the mass amounts of tomatoes you see in here, which some of you may be thinking, why is he growing so many dang tomatoes? And that's because I'm a breeder. And they get up to a certain point and I can start culling them down, and then oh, there goes the light. How about that? So anyway, I can start culling them down to just about 1 every 12 inches. So there's a lot to talk about in the upcoming winter, from growing densely to lighting to environment to everything, and I love it. It gives me something to do all winter long. So let me turn the camera around and we'll get started. Just returning from a cruise, 7 days. We were gone actually 8 days, and the video I published was right before we left, and this is what it looks like now. So I'm going to take you around and show you slowly. Peppers and tomatoes, eggplant there. It did very, very well while we were gone. Plants look absolutely gorgeous. I had what was a little bit of magnesium deficiency, and I took care of that. And how I took care of that was I made a mixture of, in 1 quart I added 1 teaspoon of kelp, liquid kelp, and 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate. And I foliar fed them. I just sprayed the leaves. That's all it took. 1 application. They're looking fantastic now. So I took one of these, lifted it off here so I could show you what the roots look like underneath here. And that's what they look like. Very pretty. It's pretty typical for water culture. Nice, beautiful root system. Very healthy. So they're looking good. And there's a little bit of depletion in the water level, but not much. But I'm going to fill that up or by adjusting the float over there. And we'll get this thing back up to the correct level in no time at all. Very pleased with the way they're looking so far. I also wanted to show you here that you can see here we have got bud formation. So we're going to have little flowers opening up very soon. I'm very excited about it. And most of them have buds on them. This actual side is all the third or fourth generation of one of my grows, one of my tomato lines that I'm excited about. Let's see here. Let's see if you see some over here. So, very excited about that. All these tomatoes have these little suckers that I need to take care of, and I'll probably remove the lower leaf here on most of them that are good size, like this one here, just to create a little bit of openness on the bottom. It's not touching the ground, so I don't have to worry of splash up and disease, but I want to just clean it up some. And as time goes on, as a part of natural pruning, we'll take up the bottom leaves and trim them off, keeping several, maybe 5 to 7 growing leaves. So when you grow tight like this, you have to do some trimming, some pruning. And so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to remove the suckers on these, trim some lower limbs, And then we're going to, they're getting to the point now where we can lean them on each other. And as they get even taller, I can start making selections and either move them completely, or I can bind them to each other and then hang them on a tomato twine like up there. Hang one on and bind others to the one that's on the twine. And I can be a little more clear later on as I videotape those grows. But as it grows along. But for now, I need to remove the suckers and trim some of the bottom leaves off. Here's my tomato plants now. Aren't they beautiful? I'd say they're about up to 24 inches. You can see the strings behind them here. And the PVC is tied, the strings are tied to the PVC up there. Okay, around, this is exactly, this is all one, right here, this whole side is one variety that I want to make selections for so that I can plant the next generation in spring. You see some, let's see if I can hear it, starting to flower, some over here. And we start getting over here, and these are some that I just want to eat on, and next generation that are close to being finished. And I've got some California brine pepper down here. Pepper, I'm breeding 2 different peppers here. I'm breeding 2 California brine to get a hybrid I want. You can see back here is a third, which is really good. On this far end here are my cherries. Cherries do really well in environments that beefsteaks won't normally do well in, like lower lighting or harsher weather conditions, higher winds, definitely higher temperatures. Cherries tend to do better than beefsteaks. So I'll have at least, hopefully, those to snack on. So that's it for this one. Just wanted to give you an update, quick update, talk about some upcoming videos, and I'll just take you and show you here what it kind of looks like. It's Brent. See you guys later.